Hey, what's going on, YouTube? I just want to do this little quick video on gold. As we know, it's a 5-minute chart. So just a few moments ago, it broke above 1280, which is the breakout point, and snapped back. And right now, here's a hammer. All right, dipped below and cranked back up. Closed above the 8 and the 13, and we just closed here, and it gapped open, as you saw, on the next 5 minutes. And the reason why we need to watch this thing is because this pattern has started. Let's call this bottom July 18th, and right in here is when I started doing the videos. I remember watching this thing break above and snap back. It was something like 15 days of down. It was crazy, right? 15 straight days or something. I can't remember exactly. But remember, I called accumulation and consolidation, and then it had this really good day on a weekly chart, and it closed above the week, above the 13 and the 8, and off to the races. Then once it broke the 34, it never looked back. And so we made the first high at 12.60. We broke that yesterday, closed above it. I was looking for a pullback. It never happened, and we finally got one. What was it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We finally got a pullback to the 8, and it took 8 weeks for that 8 to come, the EMA 8, come all the way back up, and that's how big that move was. The 8 took 8 weeks, and price to finally tap support. And then, we had this little delay and a pop and retrace. And then here we have, just yesterday, we broke 1260, which we needed to close above. We certainly did. And now it's trying to move higher. Now, the thing is about, the point is about this video is this is a long-term reverse head and shoulders, a very tight right shoulder. A regular head and shoulders, where it came down to the balance point, it never, remember how I say the natural, or the natural point of return was this trend balance point. Well, what do I always say? If it doesn't reach the natural point and keeps going, it's double bullish, right? This angle of this reverse head and shoulders, so I've never even, I can't say that I've ever seen a reverse head and shoulders that steep and tight. I mean, it's tremendously tight up in this area. It should have came down onto the balance point, but it never did. So what do I say? Double bullish. It took 8 weeks to come back down to support. It's riding the 8 since then, after its dip and then close above. So it's never closed below the 8 on a weekly chart. And here we have testing the flat top break, which will complete this whole pattern, which was started at this low point That's the 18th of January, all the way to the close. Tomorrow is the close of the month. Oh, it's not registering the date. That's weird. Anyways, this is a Friday. Tomorrow is a Friday close of April's month. So we got a weekly close and a monthly close tomorrow. And the reason why I wanted to get on the horn here is here's the head fake. This is why you don't buy the breaks. You wait until you have to close above the break. So, for instance, if this 60 minutes would have closed above the break line, then you have a breakout. More so, so what I'm saying is your tolerance level. I use the 60 minutes if I'm buying a breakout. But it also depends on the price action. I mean, if the thing is just moving swiftly past the breakout point, and then I can use a shorter term. But here's a double top that we've been talking about. It kind of, I mean, ultimately you want to have a breakout close on a daily above of the breakout point. But since this is happening in the middle of the night, here's a 5 minute. I'm gonna watch price. Take this 5 minute all the way up. Do these little pumps and step downs. Pump and step down. I'm gonna see it ride all the way up and then break that flat top at 1280. I could be wrong. It could be taking all night to do this, but the longer term we go, the more leeway we have on support. So here we go. 60 minute chart. Our support line is at 1274. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to continue to watch the 5 minute as this pattern forms, which right now it is forming the right shoulder. You can see the left shoulder and the right shoulder. So the flat top break, as we see it here, is 1280 again. No, 1279. 1279. When this shoulder comes back up, makes a flat top break at 1280. If I was trading this on the futures, I would take this reverse head and shoulders on the 5 minute and ride it back up into resistance. See what happens. But point of the story is very significant. This pattern since July, almost a year, right? No, 4, 7. Well, since last July to April, let's call it May. That is a long-term chart, a weekly breakout, reverse head and shoulders, something to remember. And I just want to make sure everyone realizes how tight this right shoulder has been, because usually price will break the 34, come down, retrace, and then ride the 8 all the way up. Well, this thing broke out and never looked back. And now it's going to make the flat top break, making this whole pattern. What was it? 1250 to 1280, right? What was that? 215 points I tried to figure out. So the goal is 1475. And I believe reverse head and shoulders has a 2.5 time, 2.5 times. I had to look that up. I'm sorry, but a measured move on a reverse head and shoulders breakout, I think it's 2.5 times. So, but our first goal is going to be a double, or 1475, right in there, which we calculated to be right at that meeting point, right in here, and that previous low there. So, right there. So there you go. That's the first measured move. And I gotta look it up, or you guys are welcome to look it up as well. What's the probability of a reverse head and shoulders breakout? What is the measured move? And I think I remember 2.5 times, but I gotta look it up. But there you go. This is very significant. I want everyone to see this when it happens. Let's just check the 5-minute one more time, see where we're at. Okay, we open up another bar. You can see the small reverse head and shoulders on here. Watch the flat top break at 1280 again, which is the break on this previous high over here. And then it's going to try for the high, the ultimate. It's almost there. It is gaining momentum. This is the standard pullback head fake, and then now it's consolidating on a 5-minute. And yep. So you can see the break on 60-minute break, pullback, boom, 1, 2, 3, or they call it the 1 and 2, the 1-2 punch. Got a 1-2 punch, right? All right. So thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I got another donation and a request to look at LODE. I have that one on my watch list. I don't think it's quite ready, but you can see on the weekly chart the higher lows. So I think it's almost ready, but looks good. And thanks again, guys. Appreciate y'all.